It is 12 noon. Welcome back in. It's lunch hour here at Social Taco. Come on by and see us. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. It is BB's birthday we're celebrating. We've got some cake. Got some other nice dessert items that Landrum won't eat, but got plenty for you if you want to come by and enjoy some great Mexican cuisine and enjoy. Is that a red velvet cake I'm checking out?
It is a red velvet cake.
Oh, wow.
I'm not a cake connoisseur, but I can tell a red velvet cake.
Yep. FSU Dave has not made his way in here, but Burr, my goodness gracious. You put that on social media, didn't you?
I did.
Oh, man. You need to go to the three-man front social media and check out what Burr wore today to BB's birthday party. No, it's not his birthday suit.
So did BB have to make her own cake, do you know? Because I was talking to her last week, and she was saying she wanted to make her own cake, but I felt like for her birthday, that's not how it should be. But she does make great cake, so I guess she trusts herself.
Rob from Helena just arrived.
Yeah.
Good to see Rob again.
Yeah.
Rob
Everybody's coming up here.
Yeah, it's for BB's birthday.
Pay respect.
That's right. Joe from Vestavia
to the Queen, the First Lady.
Yep.
How about the garage in Pelham? We got the warmer weather here. Don't wait until the warm weather gets here and you get into a stifling hot car to realize, oh, my gosh, should have taken Landrum's advice, got my AC checked. Our friends at the garage in Pelham, they can handle all of that. When it starts warming up, they've got a $40 off AC check coupon there at the homepage. You simply go to thegarageinpelham.com. Look, all summer long, we know how hot it gets, and it stays hot for quite a while. Well into the football season, you want to make sure that AC is running at peak performance. The garage in Pelham is certainly worth the drive. People from all over Birmingham surrounding areas, they know that they can trust the garage in Pelham. Bob is the owner. He's very charitable. He's got guys like Robert and Richie right when you walk into that clean, professional lobby. They're going to take care of you, whether you want to drop your car off in the morning, at night, leave it there with them. They're going to take care of every single step. Spring break travel's coming up. Don't wait until the last minute. One of the busiest times of the year, and they will book up quickly. It's thegarageinpelham.com. Check out all the reviews. That's where you should start. That's why people go to the Garage in Pelham. Garageinpelham.com. Always tell them Landrum from Jocks sent you.
If you're just now tuning in, we've been talking a good bit, and many of you have been texting in the program, giving Landrum some ideas of who the Braves might go after, because they need an outfielder because Jurickson Profar is facing a 162-game suspension after testing positive. This will be the second year in a row. If you remember last year, he only played in 80 games for the Atlanta Braves. Braves owed him $15 million this season, but obviously they won't have to pay that because he's going to be suspended. So the Braves are actually going to save $18 million because you're paying 20% if you go over the tax threshold, and the Braves were over the tax threshold. And so by subtracting that $15 million and then the additional $3 million because of the tax obligation there by Major League Baseball, then you're actually saving money. So got a little cash that you can go out.
Seeing some suggestions. Tommy Pham saw, Jesse Winker.
Okay.
Andrew McCutchen, who you guys threw out here on the show. Or hopefully somebody else that comes in and plays above their heads this year. Just really disappointing. I just got a text. Worst free agent signing in Braves history, and we signed Melky Cabrera one time.
Oh, Melky Cabrera.
Very good point.
Goodness.
But this is very disappointing, and there's no hiding from it. You got busted once.
Yep.
Now you've been busted a second time.
Mm-hmm.
Just disappointing. You let your team down.
Sure is. I've been getting some texts from some people asking me about the World Baseball Classic, and you got the United States. They're playing a exhibition game against the San Francisco Giants today out in Arizona. The United States will play Brazil on Friday, and this is pool play. Of course, we were used to that, seeing that in the Olympics, in Olympic hockey, and also in curling a couple weeks ago in Italy. So Friday, you've got Logan Webb. He will be on the bump for the United States. Logan Webb from the San Francisco Giants going up against Brazil. Now on Saturday, you're going to see the finest uniforms in the history of international baseball when Great Britain, the United Kingdom, will take on the United States. Tariq Skubal, that's right, Skubal will be on the bump for the United States against Great Britain. Worst uniforms you've ever seen in your entire life. Just awful. Then on March the 9th, Paul Skeens will be on the mound for the United States as they take on Mexico. And then on March 10th against Italy, they kind of updated a little bit.
They updated it.
I hate that.
I know, because we can't really make fun of them anymore. That looks good. Great Britain.
Yeah.
Well, they're on the list now. But
looks a little bit better.
Yeah.
Nolan McLean, who's a pitcher for the New York Metropolitans, he will go up against Italy on March the 10th. And so that will be the pool play for the United States. It will be Brazil, Great Britain, Mexico, and then Italy.
You know, if his jersey was crinkled the right way, it would just say, eat it.
Now, will Great Britain be allowed to play in the United States?
You know, given some of the things that I've seen across the wire, I don't know. That's a wonderful question.
Apparently, if you have anything from Spain, it's gonna be hard to come by.
Yeah. Oh, we get from Spain. We don't get anything from Spain, apparently.
That's what I just read. That we don't get anything from Spain. We don't want anything from Spain, and we're not going to get anything from Spain based on what I just read.
All right.
And apparently, the current prime minister is not Winston Churchill for Great Britain. Interesting times.
Mm-hmm.
No more petroleum for you, Landrum. Sorry.
But whoever's responsible over there in the UK for these new uniforms, congratulations.
Let's be honest.
Because last year that was hey, we just put a team together, go to local screen print place and iron it on there.
I mean, it didn't even scream
tackle
men's slow pitch softball. I mean, me and Larry, we had some good uniforms when we played men's slow pitch softball.
No, the uniform last year's literally screamed, we really don't care, and they're making us wear uniforms.
They're making us play in this tournament.
Yes. Why are they making us do this?
They thought it was cricket. They didn't think it was baseball. Hey, we're going to a cricket tournament over in the United States. Let's go.
Yeah.
What's this hat we're wearing? What is this?
Jazz Chisholm looks great in the Great Britain uniform.
I mean, because can't all of us, realistically, based on the fact that the United Kingdom was once the most dominating, I mean, they had, countries all over the globe that was part of their kingdom. Couldn't we all, at some point, I mean, looking at these rosters, because you don't have to go.
You're talking about go back and say, I can play?
Yeah, that I can play for Great Britain. If you couldn't, Jazz Chisholm could not make the Team USA, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's obviously went on Ancestry.com and he found out that he's got a relative that is part of the United Kingdom and he's going to play for him.
Well, it was Mookie Betts who had the distant cousin who was one of the princes, right? Mookie Betts. He found out there was lineage there. So Mookie Betts could actually play, I guess, for Great Britain.
Is Jurickson Profar playing in the World Baseball Classic?
You know what?
He was playing for the Netherlands and now he can't. Being dead serious.
There you go.
Really?
Dead serious. Yeah, I saw it just a minute ago. He was on the Netherlands team.
Wow. Hate that for them.
Maybe the Astros will pick him up, right, Conrad?
He'd be right at home.
Yeah.
Bunch of dirty cheaters.
Did you say that Mark Stoops has got a new job? Boy, he didn't stay out of the unemployment line very long.
See the new Braves
analyst
DH?
for Shane Beamer?
He is now going to carry coffee to Steve Sarkisian.
Really?
Yes. He has been hired by the University of Texas. He basically is going to have a special assistant role. If you remember, Paul Christ and Gary Patterson both had those type jobs for the University of Texas. Remember that Kentucky fired Stoops after 13 seasons. He went 72-80 at the University of Kentucky. But, yeah, the University of Texas has announced that Mark Stoops has been hired. He'll be a special assistant to Steve Sarkisian.
Coach, no creamer? Freaking kidding me? Come on, man. We're gonna run this drill till you get it right.
How do you think Bob feels about
2 creamers, 1 sugar.
I wonder if being a special assistant, does that mean that he has to go feed the pole monkey, during midday?
Who had the pole monkey? Is it Sarks or is it Banks?
No, it's Banks.
Banks.
It's Banks's. I think it was his significant other.
Do the Sarkeesians, though, would they like house sit or take care of the monkey?
I don't know that.
Okay.
Who was the pole assassin? That had something to do with the monkey. Do you not remember that?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was the name of the. Thought that was the stage name.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right.
I thought that was the name of one of the movies that Conrad found in his dad's closet. Oh, the Flamingo movie.
No, I thought that was the stage name.
Pole assassin?
Oh, no. Yeah, it was somebody's name. It wasn't the monkeys, though. It was the person that owned the monkey that was dating
That's what I just said.
Coach Banks. Yeah.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the stage name of the significant other of
Yes.
Coach Banks.
Sorry, I thought you meant stage name for the monkey. My bad.
No. Did you order that?
Maybe that's a sure. Maybe that's a. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. That'd be like an SEC story.
The pole
SEC
monkey.
coaches and their unique pets. That would probably take the cake. I wonder if we have another coach who has like a boa constrictor or a llama.
Possibly.
I mean, with the money that they have, you could have a llama sanctuary right out behind your house, Kirby.
I'll
Go out there and just
chicken feathers.
be soothed by the llamas. Those chicken feathers look wonderful. SocialTaco.bar. Check out the menu.
So Texas hires Mark Stoops as an assistant to Steve Sarkisian. I also saw this in the football realm yesterday. The Tennessee Vols, they announced that they generated $4.3 million in alcohol sales during the 2025 season. Fans drank 283,919 beers on Rocky Top. 4.3 million in sales, 283,919 beers. That's the university's alcohol sales have tripled since the first year it was sold 7 years ago. So it's tripled in 7 years' time.
Might quadruple if you don't find a replacement for Joey Aguilar.
All right, so do this math. So in the 3 home losses to Georgia, Oklahoma, and Vanderbilt,
How much did they buy?
they sold $2.3 million worth of alcohol
And-
on those 3 losses.
Oh, that's awesome.
So at $4.3 million for the entire season, but if you extract the 3 losses to Georgia, Oklahoma, and Vanderbilt, it came to $2.3 million.
And I would bet at least half of that was from the Vanderbilt game when they were just getting slapped around.
We had a packed Neyland when we went up there with UAB, but the good news was it was an early kick. So a lot of those folks, well, I know you generally say, well, that never stopped an LSU fan, but it was relatively tame.
Yeah.
It was a warm sun that morning, but yeah, that's a lot of money. Revenue streams.
So some headlines. In 7 years' time, alcohol sales at Neyland Stadium have tripled.
It's pretty incredible.
And in 3 home losses this previous season, fans, like my good friend Scott out in Trustful, $2.3 million in alcohol sales.
Good to have that contract.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't kept up with it, but Alabama, Auburn, is that full? Are they full bore yet, or they're not?
You have to ask Conrad.
Conrad, are they selling beer at games?
Man, I'm actually trying to. I think Alabama is, yeah. I haven't been to a game in the stands in a couple of years, though.
Oh, humble brag.
No, I'm just saying.
I didn't know. Is it available to students if they're of age?
I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
think it is.
if you're of age, you can buy. Yeah, they do. They sell beer.
Because when the issue came up in schools in the SEC, we thought that Alabama and Auburn would be the 2 last to do it in the conference.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Auburn baseball? They were very early. I think that might have been the first thing that was introduced down in Auburn in regards to alcohol sales.
That was the test phase,
I think so.
maybe.
And maybe some of their VIP areas.
Yeah.
For the at Plainsman's Park. I think so.
See, would they let y'all? Because when I was in, I mean, this was 10 years ago or so. But when I was in college, if you were 21 at baseball games, you could take your own beer to the game. Like if you had a cooler, they would have to inspect it, but you could take it into the stadium. You just couldn't buy it there.
No. It was where I was. It was technically still a dry campus.
Ah, gotcha.
You couldn't do that. Now we snuck stuff into games.
Yeah, and your boots
but
or whatever.
But never a cooler where they allowed that. I think a lot of things have relaxed in that area.
Yeah. We are live at Social Taco, and I'm trying to find a seat. You see any seats available?
There's not a seat.
Yeah, it is. It is packed up here, but we will make room for you. You still have time. We're going to be here until 2 o'clock. It is BB's birthday. We've got red velvet cake that has not been cut yet. We've got all sorts of other desserts and all sorts of great things. So we appreciate everybody stopping by. If you heard in the background, you had obviously Boomer. He's here from the Stallions Brigade.
You heard him.
Oh, yeah, you heard him. He always likes to make an entrance. So we appreciate everybody stopping by and seeing us. We will continue on. 1-800-239-WJOX. That is the phone number at the bottom of the hour. We'll talk a little Army-Navy football. Could it be moving? That's straight ahead here on Jocks. It is 12:20. In about 10 minutes from now, we're going to talk a little Army-Navy football. Could the game be moving? And what else is new going on in the college football playoff as Amanda Christovich is going to join the program from Front Office Sports coming up as the cake is being cut now for BB's birthday. Thank you, Mary, for bringing that over. Landrum does not like desserts, but I will absolutely – that's not red velvet. That is actually – wow, that's very well done, whatever that is.
Is it chocolate cake?
No, that's red velvet. It's a deeper red. Is it not? It looks like red velvet.
I don't know. We'll get the full details in a minute. You know, Eastern Birmingham got hit hard last week with the pounding rain, heavy wind, golf ball size hail. Yeah, it nailed me at my house. The kind of weather that can really do damage to your roof. You need to call Abide Roofing today, 205-577-7338 for a free roof inspection. I live in the epicenter of that storm, and I've seen Abide Roofing out everywhere. They're checking roofs. They're starting work immediately on homes that have been damaged. So even if you don't see missing shingles or you don't think that your home has been damaged, you need to get a free, no-obligation roof inspection right now from Abide Roofing, 205-577-7338. You've got nothing to lose, just an honest assessment from a team that puts customers first. And if there is damage, Abide Roofing are insurance claim masters. They'll help you navigate the process and make sure that you get the coverage that you deserve on your home. So from your first call to the final inspection, Abide Roofing puts you first. Call 205-577-7338 or abideroof.com.
Text line is open, 205-834-9450. A lot of different things that people are weighing in on. The poll assassin is always a whole lot of fun for our listeners. Collins texts in and says the pole assassin's pet monkey was a capuchin named Gia.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Can I read this one from Whiskey?
Probably not.
Okay. I've not heard the joke, but
oh, you haven't?
No.
That's from Full Metal Jacket, right?
Okay.
If my memory serves me correctly.
That's such a disturbing movie. I've tried to forget it. I've always heard that red velvet cake was just German chocolate cake with red food coloring.
Hey, will you find out what kind of cake that is?
Going back to alcohol at games, we are reminded that Colorado allows students to smoke the devil's lettuce. Forget the alcohol.
Hey, don't forget about Doobie Hill there at the University of California.
University of Cal.
Well, I told
Doobie
y'all
Hill.
when I went to the Oklahoma game 2 years ago in Norman, there were more people smoking the devil's lettuce than drinking beer.
Was that the Alabama football team as they were getting off the bus?
I think the state of Oklahoma is a big
That would have made me feel
medicinal
a lot
state.
better.
Was that the reason why?
Unfortunately not.
I think Oklahoma is a big medicinal marijuana state.
Is it?
They have a lot of people that are prescribed medicinally for marijuana.
Well, and they're all Oklahoma football fans, apparently.
Well, I told you when I went to the Seahawks game, and this was
Oh, I can only imagine what that was
14,
like.
15 years ago. It was very eye-opening for me, sitting there in the upper deck, and everybody just starts breaking them out. A lot of different smells.
By the way, that's cookies and cream. It is not red velvet.
Okay. Drake asking if Cedric is still working for Nick Saban?
You know, I don't know. I met Cedric many, many years ago. He's been doing that position for quite some time. I remember Cedric brought Mike Price up to our studio.
I was about to say, I don't feel like I've seen him driving Kalen DeBoer around, but I could be wrong.
Cedric was not on the trip
No, he was not.
to Artie's, I guess.
No.
Mike
If he had been,
Mike,
maybe.
Mike Price probably wished he had been.
Yeah.
Sed is still with Nick. Someone is texting in. Well, that's awesome. I mean, he knows all the coach's stuff. He knows what coach likes. So he would drive around. I know he would take care of those things, like run into a restaurant, get him food, whatever.
Yep.
205-834-9450. The future of one of the greatest sporting events that we've ever witnessed and will continue to witness. It's the annual Army-Navy game, Pat. A lot of discussion around this game and where we're going to put it. Where does it fit on the TV schedule? A lot to talk about.
Amanda Christovich from the Front Office Sports. You hear her on Paul Feinbaum's show a good bit. Outstanding writer for Front Office Sports. She's written a piece in regards to the Army-Navy game and the expansion of the college football playoff. We will talk to her next on Three Man Front. It is 12:30, right in the middle of lunch hour. Thanks for tuning us in. This is Three Man Front here on Jocks. Pat Smith, Landrum Roberts. We're live at Social Taco in Homewood. Molly Robinson, Conrad Van Order, high atop Red Mountain back in our studios. And we're so happy to be joined now on the Higginbotham Hotline from Amanda Christovich. She's a sports business reporter college sports for Front Office Sports. And as we talk about every single day on this program, Amanda, just like our good friend Paul Feinbaum does, it's college football down here in the Deep South. And your article about the Army-Navy game potentially moving, the CFP and all that, obviously kind of got our interest up. And thanks for joining us today on the program.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Well, one thing is for sure, and we've experienced the Army-Navy game. I was able to go up and do the show up in Philadelphia a few years back, and it was just an incredible atmosphere, a incredible game, the set-alone game. But now all of a sudden there's some conversations out there potentially, and that kind of was spurred by the comments by Jeff Monken a couple weeks ago in regards to potentially moving this. Your article kind of touches on a lot of different areas about the game, but let's start there. Had you heard anything about how maybe the Army or Navy was looking at the potential of moving this game to another weekend?
So the most important thing to remember, I think, about this is that it's not really up to Army or Navy. It's up to whether the CFP decides to expand. So in that sense, based on that hypothetical, there have been conversations in the college sports spaces in general, beyond Army Navy, about whether or not the game should be moved or would it have to be moved. I think is really the big question that folks at Army and Navy are contending with, because if the CFP expands, then that first weekend of those early rounds of the CFP would be the same weekend as the Army Navy game. And as it stands now, as we all know, the Army Navy game is it has its own full day. There's no other FCS football on that day. It's, not just an exclusive window for the game, but pretty much the whole day is about that game. So that's what they're trying to figure out. If they might have a conflict with the CFP, what are the contingencies plans?
As far as that exclusivity, and we know that's such a big deal, especially surrounding that game, but potential advertisers who are going to be paying millions of dollars for that stage, how much of a difference, if you had to guess, would that be as far as revenue, having exclusivity, having the game, nothing else is around it after it, and having it then jumbled with everybody else possibly on Thanksgiving weekend?
Yeah, look, as it was described to me, it could be a huge financial challenge, or a loss for both service academies, because, the importance of the Army-Navy game, obviously there's the pageantry, the festivities, the history of it, but there's also the financial windfall for both service academies, and the ability for those service academies to, help with recruiting for both themselves and the military in general. So, that's millions of dollars worth of value that they get with exclusivity. If they don't have exclusivity, that definitely impacts the value of the advertising for the actual window. There are also events that lead up to the game that, can make money for the academies. And I think that is the reason that Navy Athletic Director Michael Kelly told me he was against the idea of the Thanksgiving Day or Thanksgiving weekend that Jeff Monken proposed, not because he didn't think it would be good for, the football scheduling aspect of things, but he was concerned, in addition to, having all of the students be able to attend the game, right? Like normally they'd be home for Thanksgiving. He was worried about the business aspect, exactly what you're saying, this concern about the decrease of value for advertisers.
Amanda Christovich joins us here from Front Office Sports talking about the Army-Navy game and the potential CFP expansion, how that can move things around on the calendar. So it is interesting because CFP Executive Director Rich Clark, he has deep service academy ties. Did you get the sense that the CFP leadership feels a responsibility to protect that game?
100%. 100%. I remember during the weekend of the national championship, there's so much college football news during the season and in the offseason. We all forget. But if you remember, President Trump actually issued a statement that weekend saying that he was planning to issue an executive order that would mandate broadcasters to give, an exclusive window on a certain Saturday in December to the Army-Navy game. And while we haven't gotten that executive order yet, we know where President Trump stands on this, right? So I asked Rich Clark about, that at the time and about President Trump's comments at the time. And he made it very clear that, like, they have no qualms with that, right? I mean, look, the executive director of the CFB doesn't make these decisions. It's actually the conference commissioners who ultimately decide. But Rich Clark, with his ties to the military, and, he was the superintendent of the Air Force, of Air Force Academy, he very much wants to see the Army-Navy game continue to succeed. So I think everybody, conference commissioners, Rich Clark, everyone involved is, nobody's against the idea of preserving the game, if that makes sense, as far as I've talked to.
I'm just thinking about all the potential. You got a lot of intelligent people that are going to come up with a solution, I guess, that works for everyone. But as far as moving that game potentially, if you had that game even at the beginning of the season, is that conversation even getting started, or is that probably off limits altogether?
It's funny. I didn't ask about that specific scenario. I know it's kind of been floated online. I do have questions about the viability of that, especially especially from that exclusivity standpoint, right? About, like, there are games during week 0. Are we going to move week 0 up a week? Are we going to make, is it possible to have Army and Navy play even earlier than week 0? I'm not sure the answer to that, but it did sound to me like there weren't a lot of ideas that were off the table, so long as they provided that combination of exclusivity of the window, providing that the business of the game could stay intact and be successful. And then also, again, this idea of, like, you want to make sure that both service academies can participate in the postseason if they get a CFB bid. You want to make sure that their schedule is not going to negatively impact their ability to play well, their ability to participate. So it's like anything that might satisfy those two things, I think at this point, the service academies would be open to.
Amanda, we cover Alabama and Auburn on a daily basis, but we're also based out of Birmingham, and we have very close ties with UAB and the American Conference. And a lot of people forget that both Army and Navy are members of the American Conference. As of today, has the American Conference commissioner, has he made any type of statement or a stance in regards to where he would like to see this game?
He did not make a specific argument about, a specific proposal. He is basically kind of in line with the folks at the CFB, where his stance is like, this game must go forward. It must continue to be successful. It's a national treasure, and we are going to protect it at all costs. But I think, he doesn't want to make it seem like he is the person who is going to unilaterally make this decision. He wants to make sure the service academies have the opportunity to really lead the discussion here. But he made it clear that, as far as the American Conference is concerned, the conference level is going to do everything it can to support this game going forward, as they already have.
And you might have already touched on this. I'm just wondering, being a part of this game and experiencing it during the week, and then being there in Philadelphia and watching it just a few years ago, it was amazing by just the number of folks that were not affiliated maybe with Army or the Naval Academy or any branch of the military that just wanted to go and just take the game in for what it is and being one of those bucket list sporting events. How much revenue are we talking? Not only exclusivity and broadcasting rights, but all of the licensing and everything that's all encompassed in this matchup. I think it might blow people away at what that dollar amount looks like.
Yeah, it's funny. I tried to do some research into, like, what the exact number is, and it's kind of hard to say with all of the moving parts, but I think one of the numbers that I came across, and it's easy to envision that at least $10 million worth of revenue for both service academies across, media rights, ticket revenue, events revenue, licensing, all of these things. And not to mention, I mean, this is like an expensive part of the deal for the apparel company, but every year Army and Navy have their own uniforms that are designed, years in advance. I wrote a story about this a couple of years ago. It's actually like my favorite part of the game.
Oh, ours too, Amanda.
Ours too.
Oh, we love that. We're uniform and helmet geeks.
Yeah,
so we love that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's like all of that, being able to buy some of those, every year, the different like uniforms that they come up with, like that is a major revenue in itself, right? The historic nature of that. So I think 10 million is a relatively supportable number, but it could be even more than that.
You'll appreciate this uniform. I'm going to geek out on a uniform. It was the Navy uniform, and this was the year that it snowed, like really snowed during the game, and it was there in Philadelphia, and it was the all whites that they were wearing with the anchor on the helmet in the snow. Oh, my goodness. It was such a good look.
Yeah, that was big time. Well,
it's awesome.
No, it's incredible. Amanda, before we let you go, I do want to ask you, and by the way, we're talking to Amanda Christovich, who works for Front Office Sports, does an outstanding job covering college sports and the write-ups there at frontofficesports.com. Just the CFP in general. We've got a staring contest right now. Right down the street from where we're broadcasting is the SEC headquarters and Greg Sankey and Tony Petitti of the Big Ten up in Chicago. These two guys seemed like to get off on the right foot. It seemed like both conferences were going to sing Kumbaya and go ahead and fix all the problems in the world, and now both of them are staring at each other like it's a Cold War. What are you hearing on that front in regards to these two conferences, and do you see them breaking bread and maybe coming to the realization that we need to get the CFP expanded, whether it's 16 or 24, and be done with it?
The most interesting thing to me about that relationship is the way that on some issues they do seem to be singing Kumbaya. Like Greg and Tony seem to be like, very much in lockstep. So, for example, their opinion about this idea of pooling college football media rights and selling them all together for all of college football, they are firmly against that. And the two of them, have come together and they are advocating against that idea, and they are working together on that. But then you look at other issues like the CFP, and they couldn't be further apart. And as far as I've heard at this point, there's been no movement for either of them to, get closer on a solution. And as we all know, they are the two who have to come to an agreement. So it's just like strange to me, candidly, how on some issues they are like best friends. They're, they have these coordinated press campaigns and rollouts, like for the CFP or college football media rights concept that they are very much against. And then on the, on other things, it's like, I wonder if they even bring up the CFP when they have these conversations about like when they're going to go to Congress next and stuff like that.
Right.
So the long and short of it is, no news there at this point, but I'm sure those conversations are going to heat up soon because they have to.
There's no doubt. Amanda Christovich, outstanding job covering college sports and the business side of sports there at Front Office Sports. Amanda, hope you'll come back. Always appreciate your work. Always a fan, and thanks again for spending a couple minutes with us.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Amanda Christovich, she joined us on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services.
Well, spring is right around the corner if it has not already arrived. And what does that mean? That means, well, Braves baseball. That means outdoor activities for you and your family. But it also means pests like termites. Termites are going to be active. Protect your home and your business with the Centricon system. With Always Active, it's scientifically proven to eliminate the entire colony. And you can do all of this and much more with our friends at Stark Exterminators. Not only the termites, but ants and roaches are going to be out in full force. But spring is the perfect time to call our friends at Stark Exterminators. Like me and my wife did over 3 years ago, had ants in the bathroom, said, hey, we got to get this taken care of. Any other issues? Liam, one of their professional and courteous team members, came out to our home, said, yep, might want to look at this. And, oh, by the way, not going on right now, but this issue could arise down the road. Love it. Love having that peace of mind. 100% of your satisfaction as a customer is guaranteed. And Stark has been family-owned for over 62 years. That means they're doing a lot of stuff the right way. 855-START-NOW or visit StarkExterminators.com. Call today for the free home or business pest inspection. That number again, 855-START-NOW or visit StarkExterminators.com. And when you do so, always mention that you heard it from Landrum on Jocks.
All right, so is Auburn basketball in the tournament? They out of the tournament? How about Miami of Ohio? Are they in? They out? Well, the nation's bracketologist, that's what he likes to call himself, Joe Lunardi, he's got a thought or two about Bruce Pearl and Miami of Ohio. We'll get into that next on Three Man Front. Oh, it's been a great birthday celebration for BB. Appreciate everybody stopping by. It has been jam-packed up here on the Taco Terrace. Got some. Is there any cookies and cream cake left? Do you see any cake left, or is it already gone?
There is maybe a little bit left.
A little bit left?
Mm-hmm. Mary's over there guarding it. They probably want to send some home with BB, right?
Yeah.
Who made the cake again?
I think it was BB.
It was?
Yeah, she made her own cake.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fantastic. I will be trying some out here in a minute after I get through with some chicken feathers.
Everybody really seems to be enjoying it. Bracketology.
Yeah, so the last 2 days we've spent a good bit of time. We've played some clips that, Bruce Pearl has an opinion on Miami of Ohio playing in the MAC. Kind of took some shots at them, saying that they would finish dead last if they played in a real conference like, say, the Big East. You got the athletics director at Miami of Ohio, firing back at Bruce Pearl. And it's very interesting because I've really never seen a lot of this in his career. I've known Joe Lunardi, my goodness, back in the early 90s when Joe was at St. Joseph's University. That's where he worked. And then he became, obviously, started doing this on the side, and then ESPN started using his work and so forth. But anyway, so he just posted this at ESPN.com, and it's about Auburn being the first team out, in which he posted this morning. I'll just read this directly from Joe Lunardi. It says, I try to avoid debates without clear right or wrong answers, but Bruce Pearl's argument against Miami of Ohio and an at-large team requires context. First, high major status aside, we have no idea whether Auburn is the better basketball team. Second, Miami has won 4 more true road games than Auburn has played, and road teams in men's college basketball win less than 1/3 of the time. Finally, in the modern history of the NCAA tournament, great mid-majors have won almost twice as many games as middling high majors, despite fewer bids and weaker seeding. Now, I suppose it's possible Miami is the worst undefeated team of all time, and Auburn is the best 500 team we've ever seen, but it's way more likely Pearl would be better off leaving bracketology to the professionals.
Yeah, look, I said this yesterday. I think Bruce Pearl is defending his son, which he should defend his son, but you're also up there as an analyst, and you can expect that shots are going to be thrown your way, and now Miami of Ohio, their athletic director, is throwing shots. Look, Miami of Ohio, I think that they should be in the tournament regardless of what happens in their conference tournament. Unfortunately, the way that it's set up is right now, Miami of Ohio, you're going to have to do what Bucky and Sanford did. You're going to have to do what other programs have done over the past, and you're going to have to win your conference tournament until we get something else that says that that's not going to be a requirement. Oh, by the way, we do have that, and apparently your strength of schedule was not great. But yes, I agree. Leave the bracketology to the Joe Lunardis of the world. We'll never know. It's silly, but if I'm the Miami of Ohio AD, I would leave it alone.
So I want to get your thoughts on this because Joe Lunardi, he responded to this on Twitter after posting what Pat just read, and it was something that Dick Vitale had actually posted, and it says, quote, it should not even be a debate about 29-0 Miami, Ohio as to whether they should be part of the NCAA tournament if they don't win the MAC. Metrics are used to define who should qualify as at-large teams is one-sided, and it favors mediocrity from power conferences over excellence by mid-majors. So essentially saying that all these advanced metrics are so that the big-time schools can have a way to defend themselves if they don't win a lot of games, and we kind of neglect the Miami Ohio's of the world. I thought that was interesting, and Joe Lunardi
By the way,
agreed with that sentiment.
I would love to, if we could have one of those, remember Kellen Mond during the COVID year? It was, hey, let's play Ohio State this weekend in a Walmart parking lot. I would love to see Miami of Ohio against Auburn right now, the way that Auburn's playing. Because I think there's a good chance Miami of Ohio beats them.
That was just interesting, that one line that he had in here. He said, he was talking about, I'm trying to find it. Now, I suppose it's possible Miami is the worst undefeated team of all time, and Auburn is the best 500 team we've ever seen. I think we can all admit that Auburn is definitely not the best 500 basketball team we've ever seen.
No. Auburn's had better teams that have been playing better that have missed the tournament than this team.
I agree. But man, just for him to say,
hey, you know what? The best thing that Bruce Pearl did for Miami of Ohio
is open the debate.
Absolutely. Because now people are waking up. They don't have to get there. They're not having to wait until championship week. Now they're alerted to it. It's a national story.
It's just interesting how, of all people, Joe Lunardi is telling Bruce Pearl to mind his own business and stay out of bracketology.
Well, and to your point, Landrum, I haven't really heard anybody vouching for the Auburn side in that debate.
No, you're not going to hear it from Auburn fans. Bruce is doing it because it's Bruce's son. if it was Connor or Dylan, Pat would do the same thing. I would expect my dad to do the same thing for me.
Better believe it. Absolutely. I got no problem with it.
No, that's your boy. And by the way, you did him a favor, but it's kind of a blessing and a curse because what you left him with right before the start of the season.
Maybe that's why he's defending him so much. He knows that he's the reason.
He feels bad.
Yeah, he feels bad because he's the one that screwed him.
Now he's got to go get a GM and get the players he wants.
Yeah.
Continue live from Social Taco here in Homewood.